Hello world travelers, I'm Mickey and this is Around the World. I never really spoke about this issue, but I thought it's time to talk about it. When and why I was deported from Beijing, China. This is what happened and how it happened.
Been around the world, been around the world, been around the world, been around the world, and I.
Beijing is a major world capital, a city of global power, and one of the world's leading centers of culture, diplomacy, policies, business, economics, education, language, science, and technology. Beijing, China's sprawling capital, has history that stretches back 3 millennia, yet it's known as much for its modern architecture as for its ancient sites, such as the Grand Forbidden City complex, the Imperial Palace during the Ming and Qing dynasties. Nearby, the massive Tiananmen Square, one of Beijing's most popular sites, one I visited many times. The population of Beijing is 21 million, almost 22 million people as of 2018 and growing daily. It's one of the most historical places I have ever been and one I'll never forget. In the early 90s, I was on tour with a band from the United States in Southeast Asia, and somehow we ended up in Beijing, China. China was great. The people were very nice, the club was always busy, and we were once again flying high in another country, having the time of our lives. We would take trips around Beijing like Summer Palace, Silk Alley, Forbidden City, and the Great Wall, and many outdoor markets within Beijing. We stayed in a hotel that was attached to the club, so at night it was easier for us to get up and down, go up and down to work. Therefore, it was no problem for us to get back and forth to our jobs. A week had passed with no problems. The band was flying high. We were living the time of our lives with no problems. The crowd was coming in. The club was always busy. We were happy. Management was happy. We were loving it. We were living it. The time of our lives. One evening we were performing on stage. When she walked in, I was floored. She was so beautiful. She had long, straight, beautiful jet black hair. That was the first thing that caught my eye. But it wasn't the last. Not the last. She came in with a guy that wasn't from China. I didn't approach her that time or the next few times that they came in. They just looked like friends. I saw nothing romantic between them. They always sat apart, and every time they came in, they constantly looked like friends, which was about 3 or 4 times. I guess seeing him was the red light. I only saw a green light or flashing yellow lights. I never saw red. I never thought they were a couple. Never thought they were. One night, the beautiful long-haired girl came in a club alone. I thought to myself, I'm gonna go over and say hi during my break. During my break, I went over to say hi to her, introduced myself. She was even more beautiful up close than from the stage where I always saw her from. I asked her if she would like to go out to eat with me. She said yes. I also asked her about the guy, and she said they were just friends. That was my green light. We went to eat that night. Things were great. She also spoke English very well, so we could speak about many things. A few days later, we would go to an amusement park on my day off. It was beautiful, quiet place, so real. Felt like we were the only 2 people in the world that day. We had a wonderful day. She would also show me a few more popular sites in Beijing. I would say I was falling for this girl, and that was unusual for me. Very unusual. Why was I falling for this girl? Why? One night after my show, she said she would book a room in my hotel. I agreed and thought it was cool. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. She went to the front desk to book the room. Everything was all set. I went from my room to her room because she couldn't stay in my room because I had a roommate and we wanted to spend time alone. The next day around noon, there was a knock at the door. At first I thought it was the staff just reminding us of checkout time. But then the knock got aggressive and I heard a voice. Very aggressive voice. I got up, opened the door slightly. He then pushed the door, knocking me to the floor. He ran towards the girl, yelling and screaming and shouting at her. They were yelling at each other back and forth. They were yelling. He didn't look like he was going to hit her, so I got up off the floor, grabbed my bag, and decided I better leave the hotel quickly. I didn't want him to follow me to my room or go to my room, so I left the room and I heard this voice, "Get back here! Get back here!" As I turned back, he was chasing me. He was chasing me. I ran quickly down the hallway, past the elevator to the stairs. I was terrified. This guy wasn't intimidating, but I wasn't in my own country, and I was at my place of work. That's what scared me. I was running as fast as I could. I was running really fast, but he was right behind me. And I was fast too. I was pretty fast. My heart was beating. My head was all over the place. I didn't know what I should do or where I should go. I just didn't know. I just kept running and running. I ran past people. My head and my heart was pounding. I felt like I was about to pass out. My only choice was to go to the club because I didn't want to run on the street where people were, and also the cops would see us. Then it would be more trouble for me. I went into the club, and my roommate was right there by the door. As soon as I entered, the guy grabbed my shirt. I pulled away, tearing my shirt, but I was free. The staff then tried to restrain him and asked me to leave, so I left. I went straight to my room. I was shocked. Who's this guy? Her husband? Her boyfriend? Her brother? Who is he? My hands were shaking. I was praying, this is just a dream, and soon I'll wake up. Soon I'll wake up. I kept praying. I kept praying. This is just a dream. This is just a dream. My roommate came up to my room and said the guy had left. I was a little relieved, but very stressed. What's going to happen next? Only God knows. Later that day, I was called to the office, and they explained to me who the guy was. They said the guy had a lot of connections in China, and I had better leave for my safety, for my own safety. We had 2 weeks left in our contract. The band was all shocked. I apologized. Then I left the country within the next day or two. Our next job was already arranged. We were working through the same company, so it was all set anyway. So it was just a matter of rebooking my plane ticket. In my life, this is one of the most memorable and scariest times. Till this day, I remember her and her face, as I would see her years later in Shanghai, and she would totally ignore me. My point and message to this story is, never trust anybody that you don't really know. Trust is something that's earned. You have to earn trust and respect. Don't trust someone you don't know. Don't trust someone you don't know. You never know what you can be in the middle of, what kind of situation can develop. This girl knew she was wrong all along. She would put me in the middle of something so crazy. Don't let yourself walk blind into a situation that you can't get out of, or you have doubts. Get away real fast as you can. Don't even get involved. I thought the company had just asked me to leave China, but I would find out years later, as one of my Chinese friends was reading through my passport, and he asked me, "You were deported from China?" He saw my deportation notification. I never knew this. It was in Chinese. I was shocked. Then I explained to him what happened. Then he was shocked. We both were shocked. Remember, don't trust so easy. Think the situation over and try to make the right judgment, not only for you, but for the people around you. Things we do can affect others as well as ourselves. Think before we do things out of the ordinary, or talk to someone close to us about it. I still love China, and I have returned to China maybe 5 to 10 more times after that incident. with a new passport and a new way of approaching people, not with lust, with caution before trust. I have many more interesting stories to tell you, as I lived in Asia for over 21 years. So please like and subscribe and come back for more stories, true stories, crazy stories. But all in all, I love Asia. I had a great time, and I will return one day. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Live life, love life. God bless. I'm Mickey. Surround the world. Till next time, stay safe. Love each other. Spread love. Stop the hate. Thank you.